Okay, everybody, welcome. My name is James Ketchum. I am the head of the soundboard team here at Edge Theory. We are an official Juice Plus partner and excited to bring you all this information tonight. So what we're going to be working through is, because of this poll, I can tell many of you are already signed up for soundboard. So what I wanted to talk through is some best practices for the big social media platforms. I've got about 30 minutes. And then I've got to hop off and run another call. But David will stay on and walk you all through some of the soundboard features. But I was going to spend a little bit of time on some, like I say, best practices and some ideas for how to think about growing your presence on social. So of course you're aware of the soundboard. If you either got the email or haven't thought about it again, Social 30 is a free ebook that I wrote, and it is kind of playing with Mitra's idea of the Transform 30, giving you something to do every single day that's healthy. Well, the Social 30 is a 30-day guide to growing your business on social media, and it gives you steps, tips, and tricks every day for 30 days, something new, productive, and proactive that you can do to grow your business. So I recommend taking a look at that. Download it. It's a big PDF. Print it out, whatever's easiest for you. And I'm pretty sure I've got the link. Nope, I don't. I'm gonna fix that right now. I'm gonna go ahead and put the link in here for you. It is just social30.juiceplus.vip, and like I say, it's free. It's just sitting there, and it's yours for the taking. So go check that out if you're interested. David will bring this slide up towards the end. Okay, so let's have a little fun note here. We're giving away a Yeti cooler this month. We've given away some Apple Watches in the past. So if you've either not signed up for Soundboard and need to sign up, or if you attend a training like you're doing right now, then you have already registered to enter our drawing for the month. But if you have not yet signed up, we would love to have you on the soundboard. And the way that we can tie you to tonight's webinar is if you use this particular link, that aspire.juiceplus.vip. And that way we know how you found us. And that's helpful to us. So, but again, if you've already signed up for soundboard, your attendance on tonight's training will register you for the giveaway. So all the best. Hope that works out for you. And be sure to tell your team. All right, so let's hop in. So we at Edge Theory, we built the company because we believe that conversation matters, and we believe that it is the greatest asset that you have when it comes to connecting with people, of course, and moving product. It's the greatest tool in your tool belt, but it's also a liability. And if you don't handle it right, as we know, then it can work against you. So same is true on social media. And so one of the things that we talk about, and Pat has been through a lot of this when we did some trainings for the Keep Punching team, but we like to talk about the 5 steps to social media success. Okay, and so tonight's call is a perfect example of the first step: educating yourself about the resources that are at your disposal, educating yourself about the ins and outs of social media, how to prospect, how to connect with people, how to be sincere, all those things. Even young people, we assume that young people just know, we're born with the knowledge of how to do social media, but I talk to young people every day who don't know how to do something. Because it's a new world that we all have to learn. So don't feel bad if you don't know how to do something. But it is important to do that. And we offer, in addition to calls like this, we have an ongoing free social media training series I run every Wednesday at 11 a.m. Central. And then I repeat the same webinar at 8:30 p.m. on Wednesday nights. And the Zoom IDs can be found at our Facebook page. And again, David will show all that at the end. Second piece of your social media success is thinking about content. And of course, the soundboard provides content, but you don't want to only be a one-trick pony. You don't want to only ever talk about healthy living stuff. You want to also be yourself and tell your story. because that's what draws people in, which leads us to point number 3, which is branding. Like it or not, you own a business, you are a brand unto yourself. And especially on social media, it matters how you come across, because strangers are looking at what you are doing, and people who barely know you are looking at what you are doing. And I keep hearing this over and over and over from soundboard users, is they can't always tell who's watching them because people don't comment or like their posts. But at some point down the road, somebody will come up to them and say, I see all this stuff you're posting. Tell me about what you're doing. And which leads to an interesting, healthy living conversation, which can turn into the product, a product sale. So keep that in mind, that if somebody lands on your page, whatever social media platform we're talking about, and sees either no picture or fuzzy pictures or can't tell what's going on or what you're about, that works against you, and it matters how you come across. It matters that you know who your audience is and who you're talking to. Okay, and one of the things that we talk about in some of more in-depth trainings is how to leverage the social media platforms to tell you what your audience is interested in, because they provide that information for you. And all those things lead to conversation. As Gary Daigle says, the conversation leads to the invitation, which leads to the presentation. Okay, just because you post on social media does not mean that within 10 days people are going to be begging you to buy something. Okay, that is a myth. But the whole point of this conversation piece is to think about it in terms of two-way. To have a friend, you have to be a friend on social media, which will result in you growing your business. You know, just like when you're in the grocery store and somebody sees your buggy and you're getting ready for your salad in a jar party and it's full of lettuce and kale and carrots and whatever else, and they say, you know, what, you got a rabbit farm? You don't turn around and start talking about Juice Plus. You turn around and you start talking about your salad in a jar party. Okay, it's the same thing on social media. You can't just post and sit back and say, my work is done, they will flock to me. And you can't just post about the product and say, I have posted and now someone will buy something. It doesn't work that way. All right, and so all these things we're trying to help you see will result in the growth of your business if you turn all of these things into a two-way street. Okay, so when we're thinking through all the various platforms that are out there, I know it can be overwhelming, but there is value in each of them. And so that's what we're going to spend a little bit of time talking about right now. These are all the platforms that Soundboard works with. Even texting and email and Facebook Messenger, think of those as social media connections. They just happen to be one-to-one versus one-to-many, like some of these other platforms. But they still serve the same purpose, and you're, connecting with somebody. As far as content goes, again, the Soundboard's providing good stuff for you, but we want to help you zoom out from the product and not just think in terms of either just posting about the product or just posting about one topic. We want to give you a well-rounded presence so that when people are watching you and noticing you, they see you as an authority. And I have to tell this story real quick. Somebody voxed me last Friday. She has been a Soundboard subscriber, and we tweet for her, and she doesn't get on Twitter herself that often, but what she discovered is she works Juice Plus part-time, and she works in a school district, and the school district is really trying to take a more healthy approach for their students. And her school, not her school administrator, but like the district head administrator had been following her on Twitter and seeing all this healthy living content. And so he approached her, not really knowing her, but just as a colleague from a different office, and approached her and said, you are the person who needs to lead our school district in this new incentive that we want to take on. And the school district is buying an entire Tower Garden farm from this person because of what she was putting on Twitter. And so the point is, you never know who's watching, and you got to be out there. All right. Same thing with this. You've got to tell your story well, and be that brand ambassador for Healthy Living, not for Juice Plus. Okay, I'm going to skip these last two because I want to spend a few minutes here. All right, so Facebook and Twitter, the value of these things. Twitter being the weird one. Twitter also being the most open. Twitter is the only platform that allows outside systems like my own to automatically tweet for its users, for its subscribers, okay? Facebook, Pinterest, Instagram, LinkedIn, none of those others allow auto posting. But what we want to provide for you is the content that you can then put out there on your own at your pace. Now, when we think about these two things, we have to think about them very differently because Facebook, because of the way they build the friend network and the friend algorithm, think of it in terms of the backyard barbecue where your friends and your friends of friends come, but strangers don't show up uninvited, you know? But Twitter is the cocktail party where it's all strangers and you're just kind of mingling and rubbing elbows and starting interesting conversations and in trying to insert yourself in already existing interesting conversations so that you can make those new connections. All right, so I want to show this example because this came right up in a search I just looked up. So we're looking at a search. I've already run a search for hashtag healthy. Okay, so a hashtag, think of a hashtag as a conversation unifying system, meaning when you look for a hashtag, you are seeing all the tweets that include that hashtag, regardless of whether or not you follow that person, okay? And so this is where Twitter becomes so powerful, and it escapes what Facebook can do, because on Facebook, unless you intentionally make a public post, you're just talking to the same people over and over. But on Twitter, the world is flat. Okay, Twitter is a publishing platform. And so what happens is the size of your follower base almost becomes irrelevant. Okay, so here's Maria. Maria is a Soundboard subscriber. Maria has 62 followers. Okay, so my team and I created this tweet and sent it out for her. And so obviously ready to step off her journey to a healthy lifestyle, she got a retweet on that. So she has a point of connection with somebody that she could talk to. But remember, Maria has 62 followers. This is a smaller account. But the next tweet is from a beauty blogger, makeup blogger. And look, Yvonne has 50,000 followers. And then the next one is from a health blog that has 181,000 followers. So the point is, don't get discouraged on Twitter if you think, well, I only have 195 followers or only have 42 followers. It doesn't matter because of the way the platform works. What you have to say, I bet if we kept scrolling through this list, we would find American Heart Association and we would find Mayo Clinic. Your stuff gets included in these larger conversations and you get seen by people who don't know who you are and who don't know what Juice Plus is, but will probably engage with you. Okay, I bet you money that this person doesn't follow her who retweeted this because her account's so small. Okay, so the value of being on this platform cannot be overstated, but I also know that it's the weirdest one and it has the highest learning curve, which again, I'll plug our ongoing social media training series to please come in. We spend a lot of time on Twitter. Okay, so I want to throw out one quick idea here because I have another minute before I have to jump on this other call, and then I'm going to let David walk y'all through some soundboard features. But I want you to think about Facebook, and let's think about it from a prospecting platform, okay? Because what happens with Facebook is this. Facebook, when you join Facebook and you accept all these friend requests, okay, and your friend network begins to build up, what happens is all of your friends on Facebook do not have the same stickiness to you as let me rephrase that. Your friendships are not created equal on Facebook, even though they're already in your network, okay? Because what happens is when you join Facebook, however many years ago it was, and you accepted a friend request from somebody you went to 5th grade with or grade school with. Okay, and that person popped up and you said, oh, I remember them, and you accepted their friend request. But you haven't spoken to that person through Facebook since then you have a very low stickiness. It's called affinity. You have a very low affinity score with that individual, okay? The person that you talk to on Facebook a lot, comment on their posts, you have a high affinity score with, okay? That means Facebook thinks you really like them and care about them. So what happens is Facebook continually serves up at the top of your feed the posts of the people that you have a high affinity score with. Okay, can you see where I'm going with this? A lot of people who are on Soundboard say, well, all I ever see is Juice Plus stuff in my team. Well, why is that? Well, that's because those are the people that you've been interacting with, and so therefore Facebook thinks those are the people that you want to see, and they put all that stuff at the top of your feed because your feed is not built chronologically like Twitter is. Okay, it doesn't just put new stuff at the top and push the older stuff down. So how do you overcome this? Okay, how do you escape that top of the home feed bubble where you're seeing all the same people and all the same types of things over and over and over? We want to escape that and break free because we want to use this as a prospecting platform to connect with people in a more authentic way. So here's what you do. You go down your list of friends on Facebook. And y'all, I'm seeing this lately the past couple of days. I think this is a Facebook bug. I know that Carrie Daigle does not have 0 friends on Facebook. Okay. I know that this guy does not have 0 friends. So if you're seeing this, I've just been seeing this the past couple of days. I don't think it means that Carrie got wiped out or anything. I would just disregard it. Anyway, so go find somebody that you haven't spoken to through Facebook or maybe in real life in a while, and I want you to visit their profile, okay? Because what we have 2 goals here with this activity. Goal 1 is to reconnect with somebody on a personal level that we haven't talked to in a long time. Goal 2 is we want to shake up our home feed so that we're seeing stuff from new people, because you don't need to sell product to your team, okay? You don't need to sell product to your family, all right? We need to get involved with new people, sorry. So when you find somebody on Facebook that you want to reconnect with on a personal level, go to their profile and do one of 2 things. Either comment on something that they've posted recently, like a family picture or something, or find an article, sorry, crazy cat, find an article and post it to their timeline, okay, and say, saw this, I know you're a runner, I know you're a cyclist, thought you might be interested, how are you? How's your mom and them doing, okay? So what happens is when you do that, you dramatically increase the affinity score of your relationship with that person, and you will begin to see their posts more frequently at the top of your feed. And second motive, they will see your posts, okay? Because I promise you, you're not seeing each other's stuff when you have a low affinity score. It gets put in your feed, but it gets put so far down that you have to scroll for an hour to see it. So you are sitting on the single warmest market that you have in your Facebook network, because all these people at least know you well enough to have accepted a friend request, and therefore when they hear from you, especially if it's sincere and you're just popping in and asking them how their life is and how their mom is doing, then of course they're going to respond, and they're going to love the fact that they've heard from you. And you can start a conversation that way, okay? And so now, I promise you, if you do this for 10 or 15 minutes a day for 2 weeks or 3 weeks or 4 weeks, you will dramatically change what Facebook is serving you in your home feed. It's going to really shake it up, and you're not going to be seeing all healthy living stuff and all Juice Plus people. And the other thing is that all of these people are now going to be seeing your stuff on a regular basis. So when you're posting and making these healthy living statements, you have a whole new set of people who are seeing this and watching you, and this is impactful. Okay, so please take the time to do this. Quickly, I was going to show you one more prospecting tip that I think is so interesting. And please ask questions as we go through if if you have trouble. And then I'm going to turn it over to David. Okay, so here's the other Facebook prospecting tip that I like to give. So you've seen I've just done a search for a topic. Okay, I've just searched for healthy food. And you see they service all this stuff up. We don't care about any of this stuff except groups. And Pat even mentioned this before we started recording. So here's the benefit of this. When you start searching for stuff by topical groups, you find a massive network of people who've already stated their interest in this topic, and you have the capacity as the authority on this topic to contribute to these conversations and be a thought leader in these groups, okay? So I haven't even scrolled yet, and we're already looking at pushing 150,000 people who are interested in this topic, okay? So what you can do is you can join these groups, and I promise you, you're going to get in really fast because they're so big, they let everybody in, okay? So we're asked to join these groups, but then here's what you do. You go to your soundboard. I did this yesterday as an example, and I got a ton of traction on it, okay? So you find an article that you want to post, top 25 salads. This is a long one with all these pictures. We scroll all the way down to the bottom, and then you've got this button here, Facebook for groups. All right, so let's hit Facebook for groups. It's going to auto-copy this. We want to share on Facebook groups. And then instead of sharing on our own timeline, we want to share in a group that we are a part of. All right, and I've already joined this one. And then all you have to do is paste in this suggested text, and boom, you have shown up to the group. You have contributed to the conversation. You're not lurking. You're not stalking. You are contributing. Now, get in these groups. Comment on other people's posts. See who's posting regularly. Send them friend requests. But this is how to shake off the doldrums of Facebook that we get stuck in, because we just end up sitting on our home feeds and looking and watching people's stupid cat videos or whatever they post. And that's not a valuable use of your time to grow business at all whatsoever. So if you will take the time to do these two things, reactivate your friend network and post into these groups, join these groups. And it doesn't just have to be healthy living. I mean, if you're into cycling or horseback riding or, underwater basket weaving or whatever, join these groups and you can get all these new connections with people. And you never know when, you have a conversation opportunity to say, did you make it to the gym today? Such an easy question. What's your favorite sugar-free pie? I don't know. Make it easy, make it light. But you've got the content to contribute, and now you have the capacity and the ability to make these new connections. All right, so David's going to take over. David's going to talk y'all through some soundboards tips, and then David, if you have some time, if you'll show them Buffer, and then Pat, I'll send you the recording of this when we get done. Okay. So I'm going to stop my screen share real quick, and I'm going to unmute David, and I'm going to kick the host role over to David. All right, you got it?
I do.
Okay, so then you just share your screen, and I'm tapping out.
All right, thanks, James.
Okay. All right.